Hey, welcome to another Gourmet Fishing Info Short. I'm your host, David Murray, and on today's show, we are going to take our marinara sauce from our first episode of our new Gourmet Fishing Super Shorts, and we're going to combine that with a lobster tail and some pasta, and we're going to create what's known as a Lobster Diablo. So, before we can get our version of the Lobster Diablo out to our planetary population, well, we do have a little bit of business to take care of, so why don't we get started by rolling the open. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you click that little notification bell, because that will give you the notifications and alerts anytime we upload anything new to our YouTube channel. Now, Lobster Diablo, that's where you combine a good marinara sauce and you add balsamic vinegar, some sherry, some cheese, and some fresh basil. And then we pan sear a lobster tail, and then we put all that on top of some fettuccine noodles. Man, that thing is good. So why don't we go ahead and get started, and we'll take a look at our grocery list. So we will need our marinara sauce, and if you want to see the video on how we did that, it should have popped up just a second ago, and that's a link to take you to the video. Now we're also going to need a little bit of sherry. This is really part of a vodka sauce, but instead of vodka, I'm using sherry, which is something that we use a lot in the Low Country when we're doing like she crab soups and other things. So we've got sherry, we've got some balsamic vinegar, we've got a little bit of tomato paste, we've got some fresh parsley, some heavy whipping cream, some Parmesan cheese, a little salt, pepper, olive oil, and of course, our little friend, the lobster, and also some butter and a little bit of garlic to go with our lobster. So I tell you what, we have our, ooh, that's taken off there. Turn that down some. We've got our marinara sauce coming back up to a saute. We've just warmed it up. We've had it in the fridge in a mason jar for a little bit of time. And neat thing about this sauce, it's I always like to use it a day after I make it. I don't know, for some reason something happens when you cool it down, put it in a container, put it in the fridge, and overnight it does some neat magics, and that's exactly what we did. So what we've got, we have our marinara sauce is being brought up to temperature. Now we're going to come in with about 1/3 cup of our sherry, just like so. That's close enough. It's in science. And then we're going to come in here with a couple of tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, just like so. Now, we're going to need to come in here and get that back on and get a whisk. And we're going to combine all of those, as I just made a complete mess. So, oh man, that smells good. There we go. Now, what we're going to do with this is get all that combined, and now we're going to let that simmer for about 5 minutes. Now let me make a little bit of a cleanup here because of what I did. There we are. Now, while that is coming together and all those flavors are marrying up, we're going to work on our lobster. This is about a 4 to 5 ounce lobster tail. And we're gonna come in here and split that right in half, like so. So now we have 2 pieces. We're gonna take that lobster meat out of the shell, like so. Here, one other side, let go, there it is. Okay. There is another, and this is uncooked lobster, by the way, although it looks cooked. Anyway, don't throw them away, put them in the freezer, and you can make great stocks out of these shells. So, there we are. I tell you what, before we get rolling, grab our little saute pan here, put that over some heat, and we're gonna grab some butter, like so. Heat that up, and now we're gonna cut our lobster into bite-sized pieces. Just like that. And one more. Oh man, that is gonna be delicious here in a few minutes. Now, we've got to get this to temperature, like so. That is probably a little too much butter. Got a little overzealous with that. So we are going to remove some of that, like so. That right there is probably good enough, which is about a tablespoon of butter. That's really all we need. Again, there it is, she's starting to bubble up. So we're going to put our heat for our lobster and butter on about medium high, just like so. All right, now we're gonna come in, we're going to add our lobster to our pan. Get this out of the way, like so. Yep, there we go. Now, it's not gonna take long for the lobster. Shoot, by the time the lobster's done, we're gonna let that rest, and then we'll bring our Lobster Diablo pasta sauce together. So here we go. I come in with just a little bit of salt, not a lot, a tad of pepper, and then I'm gonna come in with a little bit of garlic, just like that. And that's granulated garlic. Don't need any fresh garlic, this will work. There we go, yes sirree. Grab our little spoon here, turn it up just a tad more. Yes, oh, smelling good, smelling good. Now I'm gonna come in and again, give our sauce a little bit of a stir. There we go. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in here and we're gonna add about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, because we're getting ready to add some cream to that, and we want our sauce to have a little bit more body than it would if we didn't add the tomato paste. So now give that a little flip, just like so. All right, heck, that thing's almost done. So now with our whisk, we're gonna combine our tomato paste into our spiked marinara sauce, just like so. Oh man, look at that. Cannot wait for lunch in a couple of minutes. We're almost there, believe it or not. And I almost caught my towel on fire, kind of like that last time. Got a little fire. Anyway, we're fine. Now, we got right here, we have about a 1/4 cup of chiffonade basil. Essentially, you wrap the leaves of the basil up real tight, and then you quickly slice those. So, got that in there. Mix this in like so. Oh man, that's gonna be good. Now we're gonna come in. I tell you what, this, I do believe our lobster is done. So I'm gonna take that off the heat, put it over here on top of the hot plate, let that sit right there. Now I'm gonna come in here with heavy whipping cream, and we're gonna add probably a 1/4 cup or so. That might have been about a 1/3, but you know, it's one of those recipes that doesn't have to be exact. You know, that's the good thing about cooking. Bacon, on the other hand, you really got to follow the recipe. But look at that, it just morphs into a beautiful light red sauce. Yes, sir. Now we're gonna bring this back up to heat. We're gonna let it bubble up a little bit, and then we're gonna add our cheese to it. Let that cook for another couple of minutes. There it is. Now we're getting all heated back up. Now this is about a half a cup of Parmesan, grated Parmesan cheese. In it goes. And we are so close to being done. See how quick that was? Oh man, we haven't even paused the camera. So, yes sir. Okay, we're gonna let that melt, and I will give it one more whisk and we'll be ready to go. Alrighty, man, I tell you what, that is looking very, very appetizing. Let's see what we got here taste wise, if we need to add anything. Man, don't burn myself. Oh man. Could use just a tad more salt. That's just me again. And I'm gonna throw a tad more pepper in there. So again, taste and season as you go. I tell you what, that right there is ready to serve, man. Okay, so we're using fettuccine noodles. We cooked those a few minutes ago. Got it here. Now what I'm gonna do is come in and I'm going to top our noodles, oh man, with our Diablo pasta sauce, just like so. Whoop. Look at that mess I made. Okay, there we go. So that's been taken care of. Let me do a quick little house cleaning. Now we're going to top this with our lobster like so. Oh man, cannot wait to jump in this in a second. So man, how easy is that? Come on y'all, that is simple. Okay, now it fell down a little bit. That's okay, no biggie. Oh goodness gracious, look at that. That is awesome. I'm gonna come in here with a little bit of a nice piece of basil like so. How about that? That was quick, that was simple. That was easy, I think. The way I look at it. All we needed was that marinara sauce as our start, as our base. You can make that a day or two or three ahead of time. Keep it in the fridge, bring it back up, heat it up, add your sherry, your balsamic vinegar, and you're good to go. What I probably should have done, and I think I may do the same, is I'm going to add a little bit of our extra virgin olive oil right on top, just like so. Yes, ma'am. So, good. There you go. This is it. This is Abaco's Bar and Grill Lobster Diablo. So please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click that little notification bell. Hey, if you like the video, click the little thumbs up down below. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Again, Instagram, our handle has 2 T's in Gourmet. And in the description below, there is a downloadable link to the recipe. So until next time, God bless, and well, we'll see you then.